I just wanted to make this clear because I don't think I made it just very clear during the video. At one point when I was trying to go up the slope, you know, we're talking a mixture of rock and grass, that sort of mossy grass, which was sort of loose, you know, you would grab onto a chunk of it and it would just come away. And even some of the rock was loose, you know, you'd grab onto something and it would just, again, sort of come away in your hands. But at one point, I slipped, and I didn't slip far. It was just literally inches, a foot or whatever. And my whole body was sort of clinging to the slope at that point. And at that moment, I realised I couldn't go down. There was no way I could go down that slope. And there was no way I could go up, because I thought as soon as I make any sort of movement, I'm going to slip further. And it was just then that I thought, I'm in big trouble here, very big trouble. I did wonder if I should just, at one point, almost let go. I thought, maybe I'll let it go, I'll just sort of slide down. That would have been an error. In all probability, a fatal error. Fatal being the key word here. I've never been so frightened in all my life. How I got up, I'm not sure. Just even in that small slip, I suffered a number of minor, but sort of strangely alarming looking injuries. How that happened, I don't know. You know, I keep finding other cuts and grazes. Anyway, here's the video. Well, don't just stand there. I've got another adventure to do. Come on. Tip, before you do your opening spiel, check that the area that you're planning to stand on isn't a bog. Right, a while back I did a video titled The Pipe Track that started at Killearn and ended in Blanefield. You'll see that video online. We followed the course of the waterway that starts at Loch Lomond and ends in Glasgow, Glasgow's water supply. Today I'm doing it the other way around, you might say. I'm starting at Blanefield and I'm going to end at Killearn, except that I'm going up there. Not up there, Ed, I hear you say. Well, we'll see. I've not been up there. You know, I've walked the pipe track which just sits below us many times over the decades. I've always looked up there and thought I'd quite like to be up there. So today we're going up there. I mean, it's obviously from this side it's too steep, and I don't want to be doing anything that involves any scrambling. My plan is to kind of head up this way and somehow get round the kind of right hand side of this, which looks from a distance to be a little easier. And then once we're up there, it all looks okay, you know, it's just a case of getting up there. I mean, I have read reports that, you know, there can be a little bit of scrambling on rocks. I don't want to be doing that. I'm a big fearty at heart. And at the end of the day, if I don't like the look of something, if it just looks too iffy, I'll just turn back. Yeah, I'm not scared to turn back. I've turned back on a number of occasions over the years. I remember tackling Ben Lawyers at Killearn decades ago. And at that stage, when I was walking, I was rather foolish in that I didn't check weather forecasts, which is clearly stupid. If you're going to be out in the hills or the mountains, you've got to check weather forecasts. If you don't, then just forget about it. And on this occasion, there seemed to be something of a storm. And I got up fairly near the top of Ben Lawyers, but then it was misty, I couldn't see anything, and there was a wind that was almost blowing me off my feet. I was having to kind of hunker right down to kind of keep myself on the ground. And I eventually thought, no, this is stupid, turn back, which I did. So I'll never be scared to turn back. So we'll just kind of see how we go here. And once we're on the top, we'll be able to look down on the twin Paps of Strathblane. They're not called that, I've just made that term up. But we're talking here about Dungoyne and Dumfoyn, two well-pronounced little rounded hills. They're almost exactly the same height. I think one's 467 metres and one's 466 metres. So we'll be able to look down on them and get some great views over this part of Scotland. So without further ado, let's just go. Okay, it's getting close to decision time here. The initial thoughts that I had about heading around this way and somehow finding a milder way up is a non-starter. The ground's too rough. The amount of effort it would take for me to go over there. From here I don't even see an easier bit up. At the moment I'm looking at this straight ahead. You can maybe see it from there, I'm not sure. There's a kind of grassier bit in the middle that seems to have less in the way of rocky crags. I can see a little green tree there, and I'm thinking that's probably where I'm going to head for. I'm still not 100% certain how steep that is. But I'm still on this wide sort of farm track here, which is still leading me upwards. So I'll stick with this. I hope that at some point there'll be a very recognisable path that will lead off this, and I'm thinking it will go up that way. I can almost see a hint of a path up there. It's not where I had originally intended to go onto the hill, but from here it's going to be, I think, the easiest option. There is a part of me thinking I should maybe have started somewhere between Strathblane Kirk and the spout of Ballewan. Anyway, let's see. This is definitely a bit of a path, very faint. You've got to watch and not mix these up with sheep or deer tracks or trails. But let's just see how we go. Well, it's time for a pee as opposed to a pie. That way, if I wet myself with fear, there'll be less damage done. This is just a little bit steeper than I'm happy with. There's a kind of choice of routes here. I don't like the look of this one and up this way. I don't like the look of this one because there's just a lot of little kind of loose rocks. Scree, I think is the word, which can be very, you can be sliding all over the shop and that stuff. I don't like scree. This way it looks better, but I can't see what's round the bend at the top there. I might get up there and find it's just too much for me and I have to somehow go back down again, which isn't always good. But I am going to go this way, and I'm going to put the camera in my rucksack just now because I want both hands free for this, and all being well I'll see you near the top. That was just so stupid, so very stupid. Don't ever come up that way. I came close to completely losing it there. Absolutely daft. I slipped at one point and I just desperately looking for something to hold on to. Tufts of mossy grass which are breaking away. Even some of the rocks were loose. Oh, that was just... so close to losing it. That. My legs are like jelly. Absolute jelly. I'm shattered. Anyway, I think we're sort of maybe just a little grassy bit here and we'll be up top. I'd be tempted to say I've never been so scared, but I suspect I probably have been scared, but I'm not sure if I've ever been scareder than that. And I got to the point where I was thinking, I can't go down. I've come up too far. There's no way I can go down here. And I'm thinking, at one point I almost just let go. I thought I'll just slide down, which would have been a huge error. And I was thinking, it's going to be quite embarrassing if I have to call mountain rescue. Old guy wetting himself. Anyway, we'll see you at the top. I was hoping I would bump into this. It's a stone, and as you well know, I'm quite keen on stones. This is roughly the top of Slackdhu, or however you pronounce this hill. This stone's got a B carved on the top there. There's a D carved underneath it, which we can't see because it's fallen over, and it's got the date 1848 on the top here. It is apparently one of a number of sort of boundary marker stones that used to run between here, Slackdhu, and Earl's Seat, I think it is, which is just over there. I think this is probably the only one that's still visible. The others have probably sunk into the ground, as this one had until it was discovered not that long ago. Somebody dug it back out and set it upright on a kind of base or a new foundation. And there were marker stones to mark the boundary between the estates of Duntreath and Ballewan, hence the D and the B carved on the stone. It seems to have fallen over again. I can't think why. It wouldn't have been a winds that did that. Maybe a malicious sheep, or maybe just somebody's kicked it over out of badness. Bit of a shame, you know, it's a bit of history here. You can also see that we're starting to get a bit of a look down towards the twin Paps of Strathblane, Dungoyne and Dumfoyn, which sounds like the name of a couple of dwarves in Lord of the Rings, and not a couple of hills. So from here we're going to just gentleish, grassy kind of slope down. We'll maybe get a better view of the twin Paps, and then we'll head gently down towards Killearn. Gentle is the key word here, because right now I'm feeling as if I'm a little bit grateful that I'm still alive, if I'm honest. That was just not good back there. It really was not good. I can't begin to describe how frightened I was. So let's go. Actually, it's a change of plan. I feel slightly traumatised after what happened back there. And instead of carrying on into Killearn, I can see a well-defined path here, which is going to take me down the side of the twin Paps, and that'll join the pipe track, and from there I'm just going to head back to Blanefield. I need to go home and lick my wounds and drink lots of beer. So I'll leave you with lots of nice images of the twin Paps of Strathblane, Dungoyne and Dumfoyn. I'm Eddie Burns. Take care. I'll see you again.